Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Adam Hopkins with the Hopkins Real Estate Group, and we've got a very important topic to cover today, and that is buyer's remorse. If you're a home buyer, especially a first-time home buyer, this is something you're going to need to be prepared for. And whether it's a couple days after your offer gets accepted or a couple weeks down the road as you're moving through the closing process, this is something that it's not uncommon to happen, where you're going to wake up in the middle of the night and all of a sudden you're going to be wondering, oh man, did I make a mistake, or am I really making the right decision? So, this is going to be a quick video just to run through those things to give you some ideas to help you work through that process so that you can understand if it's a legitimate concern that you're having, or if it's something that might just be buyer's remorse, and that it's very common. The first thing that you want to do when that sense of am I doing the right thing comes into your head, first thing you want to do is pull out your original wants and needs list. When you first decide you wanted to buy a home, chances are you put together a list of all the things that you were looking for in a home. Does the home have the most important things that were on that list? What qualities made the house stand out to you versus the other ones that you looked at? Did you find lots of different houses that met your needs, or was there one unique property that really fit what you were looking for and what you needed? And then also, if you were to back out of this contract based on what you've seen in the market, do you really think that there's going to be another house out there that's better, quote unquote, than the one that you have right now? And then, number 5, what is so special? What was so special about the house a couple days ago that now all of a sudden has changed? Has something really changed, or is it just some creeping doubts that are starting to move in? And being able to analyze those questions is going to help, settle some, calm your fears a little bit and settle you down. And there's a few quick scenarios that will bring on buyer's remorse that happens to everybody. So don't be concerned if these happen to you. It happens to the best of us. Number 1 is discussion with family and friends. You gotta love family and friends. They all mean well, but as we know, every real estate market is different. And if you're not in the market every day, studying the market and analyzing the trends in the local market, not what's going on across the country or even in a different part of the state, your friends and family are not going to be in a position to offer legitimate advice. They may give you their opinion, but it's really not worth much. So I would just encourage you not to attach a whole lot of weight to those opinions when they're being offered. The second one is if you're continuing to look at houses even though you are under contract. Please understand this is a big mistake, just because you're setting yourself up for failure, because once you have looked at the homes that are on the market, you narrow it down. You could be looking at starting your list with 30 or 40 homes. You narrow that down to your top 1 or 2 picks. There's a reason why you've eliminated those other homes, and it's a lot of things that may not be visible right on the surface. So just keep that in mind, that if you continue to look at houses after you've found one that you've made an offer and you're under contract and you're moving towards closing, that's just going to lead to frustration. Also, if you're working with a real estate agent who's not offering you any guidance, that's really our job, is to help you through step by step, to help you answer those questions and help you feel comfortable that everything is on track. And it's not to say everything is going to be perfect or go off without a hitch. Sometimes things do happen, but it's our job to step in and serve as that buffer for you to help come up with solutions to move you from point A to point B. So if your real estate agent isn't offering any guidance, then that's something that you may want to address as well. Your own doubts. Nothing in life is certain. If you read the news at all or anything like that, you know that the world is constantly changing, and you may have doubts as to whether or not you're making a long-term commitment like purchasing a home. You may start looking at the negative what-ifs. But remember to always counterbalance everything. That if you see the potential downside, also look at the upside of owning the property too. And then the other thing you want to keep in mind, there are going to be times when your concerns are valid, and these are times when purchasing a home actually should be halted. And this isn't necessarily buyer's remorse. These are legitimate concerns that need to be addressed before you move any further. Number 1, if you can't get financing on the property, that's a big one. Number 2, if the house doesn't appraise for the value of the contract. Number 3, the home inspection brings back repair issues that you're just not comfortable with. Number 4, if there's disputes with property boundary lines. Number 5, the title search uncovers undisclosed easements that may give someone else the right to use your property. The next one is the title search also uncovers undisclosed liens that are attached that may not be satisfied by closing by the time you take ownership of the property. And finally, there may be problems with the deed. For instance, the wife of a former owner may never release her right to the property. So that's something that you're going to work together with your agent to put those contingencies and those protections into the offer that you're making to make sure that you are protected and covered. So if these things happen, that you have the ability to either get them resolved, or if they cannot be resolved, then moving forward and finding another property. Finally, the biggest thing is just preparing yourself ahead of time. If you know that this is something that may come up, if you understand what it is when it occurs, and you understand what steps you can take, pulling out your list of items that you're looking for in a home, and going back through and understanding that whether or not this is something that is a legitimate concern, or if it might just be an emotional thing, but you're hoping that you don't make a mistake. Understanding the difference between those two things will go a long way to help alleviate those concerns. So anyway, I hope this is helpful for you. Again, buyer's remorse, it happens to the best of us, even for folks who've been in the business a long time. There's always going to be lingering questions as to whether or not you're doing the right thing. The main thing is to communicate with your agent so that they understand the concerns that you may be having, and to walk through this with them, and then at the end of the day, you'll know that this is the right decision that you're making either way. So hopefully this is helpful. If you have any questions, as always, don't hesitate to call or send us an email or stop by. I look forward to talking to you soon. Thanks again for watching this video.